So next we're going to do a high lunge pose, and this is good for just toning the hips, the butt, strengthening the legs. It's also already just opening the chest and the belly. If this is too much, you can just drop onto your back knee. So either one, we're going to do a twist. The twist is how we bring new fresh blood and oxygen into the organs. So I'll just come onto my knees for fun's sake, but you can stay on the ball of the back foot if you want to. And then you're just going to twist over to the right. You're going to not focus on your head and neck, because when you're focused on your head and neck, you're just stressed after yoga. I want to let go. And you breathe into what feels stuck in there. So especially if we're eating while we're stressed out, it's going to impede our digestion. So from here, we're going to go ahead and just step back up and come back with the other side. Not only is impeding your digestion going to affect your organ system, but it's also going to affect the way you feel, your immune system, your the way your skin is glowing. So first we want to be able to let go, right? So I'm like looking to get minimal space between my organ system and my legs, because what I want is to make contact here, and then I want to breathe. It doesn't matter if I'm twisting my head and neck, because that's not going to help me detoxify my organs. What I want is to go as low down as possible, have the twist happen almost from the feet to the hips, to the lower organs, and breathe there. This is great if your hips are tight, if you're used to sitting in chairs. You're just going to inhale and sink down into a squat pose, malasana. How can something that looks so simple be actually hard? In India, they sit around and they eat lunch, and they're used to sitting like this. It's good for the hips, the lower back, the spine. And we'll take another breath. You want to push your elbows into your knees and lengthen up. If this is hard to get your heels on the ground, you could use like a blanket, roll up your mat, or make your feet further apart. I think I did this every day when I was pregnant, because it's so good also for shortening the birth canal. This is seated twist. This is amazing because it's good for the hips, and we're doing one more sort of detoxifying posture. So it's good to keep this foot on the ground. It's always foundation first, like you're building a house. So if you're like all over the place and you're twisting, that's not ideal. This might be a good pose for you. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into it. The classical pose is coming all the way around. And again, it's that contact with the organ system along the leg. And eventually, that back hand can come back behind you. You might look back. But I want to look for freedom in my head and neck, because what am I trying to do? I'm trying to let go of what's not serving me, and then awakening and sort of breathing open from the inside what is. So first let go, first descend, first go down, and then go up. Rise up, inhale, expand, and then we'll do a hip opener. So the hips are the largest joint in the body. They hold the most amount of physical, emotional, chemical toxins. So for those of you anywhere in the country that you are, we all have tension and toxins and stress, especially right now, maybe some mental anguish. Maybe we've drinking a lot or eaten some French fries. That's all going to get stored here. So just by sitting down, this could be a really good hip opener. If you want to take it a little bit further, you might just lengthen forward. And just remember that, the 1,000-petaled lotus flower, if you've ever seen one of those, it grows down up from the dirty, muddy pond. So in that mucky stuff, by going down into it, we go up, and we can become more vibrant, more beautiful. And we go down to go up, in to go out, and back to go forward. So always looking at the foundation. And then to switch sides, we're going to just come all the way, do a little bit of a break dance, and we'll twist towards the other side. So when you're getting at it, I've been noticing a lot of people don't know where their liver is. So this is your liver, it's on the right side, and your kidneys, I hope you all know where your kidneys are. They're right on your back. So if you've made a fist with your hands and you put your hands right underneath those back ribs, those are your kidneys. So when you're detoxifying, when you're in a twist, you are massaging your internal organs, not just your ascending, which goes this way, transverse, descending colon, but you're also massaging the liver, the kidneys, the lungs, and what you're doing is you're bringing new, fresh blood cells, fresh life force, so that you start to shine from the inside out. Because it's like everything that's new, like a fresh paint of coat to your skin, will help you feel glassy and new. So I love that coming into our twist. I love that after I do my practice, after I do my yoga practice, I always look in the mirror and I'm like, oh wow. Someone will say, what do you use on your skin? It usually happens afterwards, and I'm like, it's yoga, it's breath.
Oh, it's like the best beauty product.
Yeah, it's not really a cosmetic that you can get there. So, but you know how when a house gets like stuck with a lot of stuff and we don't clean it, it just doesn't shine the way. So by going into our body, into our practice, into our hips especially, and letting go of what's not serving us, we start to awaken to our glow. We start to shine more. If someone looks at us and they feel like, oh, you just have good energy. So that happens by going into the practice. This is really cool, but we have 3 altars in our body. There's a sexual altar, the altar of the mind, and the altar of the heart. We want to connect these 3 things. Sexuality is the most vibrant and powerful energy in the world, but we want to use it to empower our organ system. So what we do is we contract our perineum. That's that place that if you had to stop your urine flow, you would just contract. And then you bring your tongue to the palate, chin to the chest, and then you bring this breath all the way up through the crown of the head, and you can feel it like awakening the heart, the brain. And then you release the mouth and you plant that breath into the heart. We'll do it again. So we're contracting. This is good for your pelvic floor. This is good for your kidneys, your heart. And what it's really good for is your mind, to calm down your energy. Now we're going to add some really secret stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to visualize the color red coming up my body. And with the color red, I'm going to visualize the element of earth, the element of grounding and connecting with the gravity. So we're going to draw that up through the hips, the feet, the chest, the brain. You're doing this with me, right? So we're bringing red light all the way up through this entire vertebrae system where there's this ray of light. It's called Sushumna. And then you release. And so that connects us to gravity. Now we're going to add the element of water, and the color will be orange. We're going to contract, and that's our sacred creative energy, and it's going to come all the way up through the core of the body and just kind of clean out all the muck, everything that's stuck, and then we exhale and bring it to the heart. Now we're going to add the element of fire, and it's going to be yellow. The color is yellow, and it's going to awaken the light throughout our whole body. And now we have ether, and we're going to draw the blue light up through the core of the body, the throat, and we're going to plant that ether element into the heart. And just 2 more. You'll feel better after this. We'll contract, and we'll bring the color indigo, which has to do with meditation and balancing the brain hemispheres, so that even when things make us anxious or stressed, we stay present in our center. So it's indigo. And then last one, this is the one that really opens us up to feeling our thoughts guided and clear, so that we know we're never alone, and the color will be purple. So that's something that I do every morning. I don't always do the colors. I do 9 breaths, and then I focus on 2 aspects of myself that I want to remove. And if we want to awaken our glow, we want to get rid of that which is making us sick. So I invite you to continue for yourself in your life to start to observe the aspects of yourself, not the good parts. We know about the joy and the happiness, but the stuff that is making you sick, maybe anger, maybe pride, maybe jealousy. Right now I'm working on fear and pride. And so what I do after I do 9 breaths is I visualize myself in a body of water, maybe a waterfall or a river, an ocean, and I ask the nature, I say thank you for helping me to remove any shadows, seeds, or roots of those negative attributes of my psyche. Observe, analyze, and comprehend. When were the root of those things? When did they begin? Did you learn them from your parents? How many times did you express them this week or today? So after your temple of water, then you can go into the temple of fire and do the same thing. Thank you for helping me to remove any shadows, seeds, or roots of those elements. So for today, I'm working on fear and pride, and then you'll see it come up throughout the day, right? And so if you do one thing and that's all you do all day long, even before you drink your cup of coffee and go out into the world, it's to sit, and maybe instead of just trying to quiet your mind, it's to work internally. After you do that, you do 9 more breaths. You don't have to do the colors, but it's just 9 breaths. I won't lead them again. But basically, that is my favorite way to return home and to work not what is making me shine, but that which is keeping me from glowing.